This is Jim Mulhern at the Plymouth Gym on socials, and I thank you. This is a show which is an escape from work and business and politics. We talk humor and music to artists and writers and creatives, broadcasters, comics, any talented people who impact us. We get a few things out of the way first. We talk with our great guest, and at the end, we handle the necessary disclaimers, and we end this frivolity. On today's show, the great Andy Kindler. And I'm going to give him a proper introduction if it kills me. But before that, I generally get a few things out of the way. And today I'm going to amend that because I really want to get to Andy. So I'm going to go with one thing to get out of the way. So thanks for bearing with me. The show is designed to stay out of politics. And today we may veer off that mission. But it's come to me that in the political talk, we have people in the presidential race who may or may not be talking about cat ladies and the love of furniture. People in places of high office have taken quite successfully to calling these people weird. Now, my little company who produces this art that you get in your internets and some of you get in your mailboxes at holiday time, it's called Arthur Street Weirdos. And my people, some of you who consume my consumables, I affectionately call my weirdos. And my weirdos are creatives, are writers, musicians, and thinkers, people who understand satire and parody. If you're part of the Arthur Street Weirdos, you don't punch down, you tolerate others, you get it. You're smart enough to understand the difference of weird candidates and weirdos that you're a part of. Don't conflate these terms. Arthur Street Weirdos will outlive this chaotic time, and long live the weirdos with a capital W. And on with the show. Before I formally introduce Andy, the comics comic, I must read this spot and share that And I Thank You show is brought to you this week by Dynamic Glue Products. How is your glue game? Are things falling apart? Are you trying to hold things together, literally? Well, if so, you may want to talk to friend of the show, Herb Resin of Dynamic Glue Products. Yes, Dynamic Glue Products of Outer Hamburg is your go-to for your local epoxy needs. How many times has your combine harvester cracked an axle? Do you have a fishing boat that is split exactly down the middle? What about your mother's vase that you broke as a child and hid behind the couch? Well, if so, likely she found it. She knew it was you and has shunned you because of it. Now, therapy might help, but therapy is not going to fix a broken vase, nor reattach a Hummel's dislodged head. That's where Dynamic Glue Products comes in. Dynamic has responded to the public's lust for new and locally produced natural adhesives, and Dynamic's artisan epoxies fit that need to stick it to the man or anywhere else. Sick of Elmer's white glue? Your kids will love using their Delmer's glue for school projects or crafts, such as making popsicle stick replicas of the Kremlin. For us adults, who hasn't carelessly chipped their Fabergé egg? Well, Dynamic is here for you with their Vorilla glue, which is strong, clear, and nearly invisible to antique appraisers. Need more rugged repairs? Dynamic's Flux Seal is perfect for attempting to seal a leak in a small, lake-sized speedboat or other light-duty pond-going vessel. Now, don't ask how they do it all naturally. Just enjoy the stock photos with farms in the background. Not only do Dynamic glues all come from things somehow connected to nature, they're nearly horse-free. And because they're natural, they're naturally free of any warranties. As Herb says, once you try it, you're stuck with it. Dynamic glues can be found at select farming supply stores, Just Glue, and online at IamSoIntoGlue.com. Dynamic glue and dynamic tape may be able to mend a boat cut in half lengthwise with a semi-watertight seal, but it is yet to be proven. Dynamic glue should not be used to secure a hard hat to a steel girder with a construction worker hanging on for dear life whilst kicking his legs fore and aft. Dynamic glue should not be sniffed other than to enjoy its nutty freshness. Dynamic glue should not be substituted for ivermectin. Dynamic Glue Products is an equine opportunity employer. Dynamic Glue Products is a division of Dynamic Industries. Say what you will, it's dynamic, and I thank you. Now, finally, back to the show. I'm privileged to have my guest today on the show, and that means you listeners who number in the tens are even more privileged to have one of the finest comics to ever grace a stage, screen, and Disney Channel, Andy Kindler. Welcome, Andy.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm sorry I cannot turn off. I forgot to turn off my notifications for uh giving money to Kamala Harris, which I'm doing, but I'm not doing it during the show. But I also wanted to ask you,
Yes.
um, is this related to the Flex Seal family of product? And if not, are you a family? What was the name of the glue again?
Dynamic.
But you say Gorilla, they have their own Gorilla glue?
Well,
Glue?
Andy, it's not Gorilla Glue, it's Vorilla glue
Oh,
with a
okay.
V. So that we can avoid any confusion with said Gorilla Glue and any other pitch people who glue things together with tape, such as boats.
But it's not a family. You're not a Flex like because that's the reason why I went with Flex Seal.
Really?
Flex Seal is a family of products, and they say during the thing we're a family,
Yeah.
and also I love that name,
Oh, it's so good.
Flex
And,
Seal.
I couldn't grow a beard or a mustache in time to pitch it, for those people who are watching on the YouTubes. But I feel like a pitch man with a beard or a mustache wins.
Absolutely. Is that who Essen is? Essen?
Oh,
Who's
no,
the guy?
Reza. Yeah, no, that was
Who
Reza.
is that guy? Who is that guy?
He's the owner of Dynamic Glue Products.
Is he really?
Yes.
You know what? I'm getting a little bit of what's it, the lake? Can you hear that? I'm sorry.
What do
Can you
you
hear that ding?
A ding ding?
No, if you're not hearing it, it's good.
Okay. I'm not
Because I can't turn it off.
it's certainly not the ding of laughter from my
Yeah,
pitch.
but I get a little bit, and I'm not suing you, but I get a little Lake Wobegon feel because
Really?
I listened to that show for 20 years, and I was thinking that that's a real. What was the name of the town again? Because I thought it was a real
Yeah, Lake,
town.
Lake Wobegon. Do you
Oh
think
my God.
who knew that he was gonna turn into such
Such a nice guy.
right? You
Such a
know,
well-rounded guy. That's the thing. You didn't know that he had all those different pursuits.
he did a lot of things,
Mm.
but what a show. And I could only hope to be put into that pantheon of um
You have your own pantheon.
NPR adjacent
What is a
family
pantheon?
programs.
What's a pantheon?
I don't know. I think it's probably a theon with two legs.
What's the difference between it's Paramount. This is Paramount. This is a pantheon. This is what is the Pinnacle? Pinnacle Pictures. Pinnacle Pictures presents Top of the Mountain.
Yes, all those pans. Yeah, are you familiar with pantilliners?
What is that? Is that like a bread?
No, it's an odd pronunciation of panty liners.
Oh, you
Oh,
know what? This is a true story, which I don't think you need on this show, but here's the true story.
yes.
When I was a young child, and my sister was the same way, both extremely, my sister passed away, God rest her soul.
Yeah, I'm
Both
sorry.
thank you. Both geniuses. We were both geniuses, like SAT scores of 1800. We were both geniuses. But I made a little joke there. It only goes up to 1600. Who's with me on this? Okay.
Is this
And
thing
it's
on?
also it's culturally advantage. It's a bull. Can I say bullshit on the show?
Yes, you can.
It's a bullshit test. But we both were not dyslexic, but we both read this word, and pronounced it misled.
Misled.
Misled. That's not what the word is. Can you guess what the word that we both identified as misled is?
It's a misleading question,
Yeah,
but
you got it. You got it right there. Misled.
yes,
Misled.
yeah. We all
So
don't we all have words like that in our
yes,
past?
I think you do. I think you do. I was interested in this. No
Yeah.
Soap Radio is national, right? No Soap Radio.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Harry Shearer, right?
I didn't know it was originally Harry Shearer as a prank joke. I had no idea.
No, but I only said that because he linked to an appearance he just had on it. So that's my only
No,
familiarity.
no, this is from my childhood.
Got it. Okay.
But the premise is His premise is a group of pranksters,
Yeah.
friends, suppose friends, perhaps we get together and they would say, look, when I say no soap radio, you laugh hilariously and we'll tell the person it's a joke.
Oh,
That's how I heard. I
okay.
heard.
No,
Guy goes into the thing, she's taking a shower, and she says, where's my shampoo? She says, no soap radio.
that is awesome.
Jim, you're very funny. I didn't realize this. I didn't know. But how did we meet each other?
We met each other on the Twitter, Andy.
Can you believe that we've been following each other for years? So I knew you were a clever fella,
Yes.
but I never quite did you do I do that? Did I do a cameo for you?
You did not, but I would
Oh,
like.
thanks. Great.
You're welcome.
But Plymouth Jim,
Yes.
what is it? What is Plymouth Jim? I see it all the time. I know we've been friends for more than a couple of years, like
Yes, we have.
10 years,
Yes.
10 years. What is it all about?
Andy, oh, this is really boring for me, and probably for you as well. I used to call in our local sports talk guys many years ago because
It's so great.
yeah, because I live in Plymouth, Michigan, and that's where I'm talking to you from. And the Plymouth Gym was who I became. And so I would call in when they were looking for low quality, frequent calls.
But did you come in with a hot take? Or did they like you because you were opinionated? Or they liked you because you actually had things to say?
No, none of the above. It was never hot takes. It was generally a take that was hoping to ridiculously parody the callers who were calling it with hot takes. Or
Okay,
yeah.
So were the guys who you were calling into, did they have a sense of humor
They're listening.
about the whole thing?
Yeah, they'll be listening to this. They did. So they were the anomaly for sports talk radio. They were actually guys who had wit and were well read and were and got in on the joke. And sometimes the listeners did, and sometimes they didn't, the other listeners. But it was fun because they knew how to play along, Andy. Yeah.
So are they still together?
No, they're apart. They do occasional gigs together on the FM radio sports talk station here in Detroit, and they know who they are.
Well, I love Crazy Mike. No, I love those guys. See, the thing is, I go the other way. I think these shows can be very entertaining.
Yes.
If I didn't hate commercials so much,
yeah,
and I'm from New York City and kind of like, I would have loved Mike and the Mad Dog. Yes. Commercial free, it probably would have been very entertaining, but I never got to hear it that way. And then I see the Mad Dog, he'd go on Letterman. So I think and Mike were very, I met them. They were very nice. This is all about me, Plymouth Jim.
Yeah, it is, Andy.
Me.
Oh my God, Andy, you're so right. And this is your forum to shine. Let me just read a bit about you for my people who don't know you. So
do you have an intro for me? Do you have an intro for me?
Oh, it's right there. I cribbed it from your last appearance. It was hot. It says here, Andy, that you currently recur on Bob's Burgers, which we know is the truth, as Mort. And
Mort, this is a voice I use. Hello, I'm Mort.
Yes.
I use my regular voice.
That's right. And it says here, and Comedy Central's long-running Tosh Point. Oh, is that true?
Well, I don't know if that's still on.
I don't think so either. I don't even know if Comedy Central's still on, Andy.
No, Comedy Central. This is actually, I know you're joking because you're a jokester, but Comedy Central is literally doesn't exist anymore. It does it's like they do a show, revolving hosted daily show.
Yeah.
And they don't do any new shows. I mean, they may do, and over the years, they've come up with funny shows, but they're not the heartbeat of the, you have to go over to at Antenna Comedy TV. Antenna Comedy TV is the new thing.
Good. Well, good, because I was going to Rogan.
Rogan. Can you believe that that people think he's smart and an influencer? It's unbelievable. We used to laugh. We would gather around Joe Rogan sets and we would laugh hilariously. This guy's got nothing. He's a crowd pleaser. And then you turn around, boom, who's more influencing than influential?
We'll get to that, Andy.
Okay.
So all of this is really old that I'm reading about you, but people need to know that I'm going to fast forward through it. You host.
Well, you can take your time. Oh, wait, because I could give you 45 minutes. You know what? I'll give you 45 minutes. How about that? Forget
45
the half hour.
Well, what about a half hour? All right. How about 20? All right.
No,
I'm
no, why are you
stopping at
going the other
15.
way? Don't go the other way with it. I'm
It's
giving you more time.
it's an old joke, Andy.
I know I was following along. I was yes
Negotiating against
ending you.
myself stupidly. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
you.
um, and the third thing, but it says here you were the host of season 4 and 5 of Hulu's stand-up series Coming to the Stage, as well as a series judge on the 7th season of NBC's Last Comic Standing, and the star of 2 half-hour, and we went to Comedy Central, 2 half-hour Comedy Central presents specials, and was a frequent guest and correspondent on the Late Show with David
Yes.
Letterman. We're going to talk
Don't
about
bury the
that.
lead. Don't
Yes,
bury the
don't bury
lead.
the
Okay.
lead. With over
Okay,
40
sorry.
appearances, we'll get back to that.
Yes, 40. Sorry.
Yes, and people, you've probably seen Andy recurrently on Everybody Loves Raymond, Showtime's I'm Dying Up Here, Disney's Wizards of Waverly Place,
Do you
with
have hacks there?
lovely,
I was just
the
on
lovely
hacks.
Selena Gomez.
Yes, I was Chancellor Rudy Tootie Tootie.
Yes, so
And
great.
I'm currently on hacks. You don't have that on the list, do you? Hacks.
Hacks. No, it's not even on here. That's how old this is.
No,
It's
and that's a new
Marin.
show with the kids love. Marin, yes, sorry.
Yes, Daily Show, Comedy Central, great. Okay, Portlandia, Dr. Katz. We need to talk about Dr. Katz. We'll get to that. Home movies, and of course the Larry Sanders Show. Um, blah blah blah. Andy,
I
and
am
then
a
it says
wonderful career.
you to have and continue
Yeah.
to. It says in July 2022, you became the first comedian to perform as a hologram. Your notorious State of the Industry address from the relative safety of Van Nuys, California, while appearing three-dimensionally live at the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal.
Howie Mandel has enough money to have a studio where you could do a hologram. So I'm in LA, and I've made fun of Howie Mandel over the
Yes.
years. Done a lot of Howie Mandel humor. Couldn't it be nicer to me? Laughing uproariously at my jokes. And so he's here now. I'm playing to him.
Yes.
I'm being broadcast in Montreal. Unbelievable.
Andy, he'll never watch or listen to this. So is there a hologram of him being funny? No, I'm just kidding. That
No,
was
no,
nice.
no.
Get back.
That's the old me. That's the old
that's the
me.
old you.
The old me would say things like, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Howie Mandel used to put a glove on his head
Yes.
and he would blow it up.
Yes.
And then he had sinus trouble, which just confirms my belief that bad comedy can hurt you physically.
Yes.
I don't do that anymore.
Don't.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's the new Andy.
But you know how we did bond though?
How?
Do you know that I am not even plugged in? So is the sound okay?
Yeah, you're perfect.
I have a really good mic.
Oh, you're sounding great.
Okay,
Yeah.
so forget that. I'm not going to mess it up by plugging it in now.
Yeah, don't. You're fine. So, okay,
we bonded over OCD. We both have severe OCD.
We do. You and
me and Howie both have severe. Not even joking about it.
Yeah, no, I know.
I heard you snickering over there. I don't like that. But we both
Snickering.
have serious OCD problems.
No, I would never snicker about that. I don't punch down. But after reading that really long intro of all of your accolades, I want to lather you up because you were that, and $3 gets you a cup of coffee. You were the best stand-up ever on Letterman, and you can tell how great a comic you are by what other comics say about you, and you are revered by the other comics, most of them, the ones with taste.
Or the ones I haven't said bad things about. Or the ones who weren't mean to me, like Adam Sandler. Right?
Is he mad at you?
He's still mad at me because I turned on, I was at the Improv one night in the 90s and I just started slamming his act because it's a whole long story. But then after I slammed his act, because I used to love his act, and then I thought the movies were terrible. But I wanted to be in the movies.
Yes.
But then me saying these movies are terrible and what are you doing? You don't even read the script. That created him. He got angry at me.
Oh,
and he Sandler balled me.
Yeah, that's tough. Is it bad to say that I've never seen one of his movies?
You can't. They're unwatchable movies unless you watch the one Punch Drunk Love. Or something like that. But
I'm willing to watch one.
But that's not his movie.
No, but he's been in a couple dramatic ones. He was been in a recent one that he got, and the movie got well received. But
Uncut Gems or something like that.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'll make a deal with you, Jim. You watch that movie, I'll watch that movie, and then we'll compare notes in a later episode of Plymouth Jim. and the glue gun and the glue guns.
And the glue company. Excellent. All right. So
By the way,
yes,
I don't know if you're aware of this.
yes,
Plymouth,
yes,
Michigan,
yes,
the car Plymouth
yes.
is named after that city.
I didn't know that,
Oh
Andy.
no, is it? Maybe wait a second. Maybe it's not. Maybe which came first? Is it named after Plymouth Rock?
Every
No.
every state has a Plymouth, Andy. You're from New York.
Okay.
There's probably a Plymouth, New York. There's definitely a Plymouth, Mass. There's a Plymouth, Minnesota. Everybody has a Plymouth. It's where the nice pilgrims land in every state. Can I say
That's
that?
good.
Yeah.
You can say it because you're in charge of the show. What am I going to
Well,
do?
I don't want to misappropriate anyone by saying
I
that.
would like to have an adversary. First of all, do I like Stevie Van Zandt as much as everybody else? Why do you have him staring at me?
Is it off-putting?
No, it's not.
Okay. What about Joey?
Is that from the Ramones?
Yes.
I love I'm a late lover of the Ramones.
You
I mean,
know,
I was a late lover of Johnny Ramone. Is that what I'm
yes,
saying?
Johnny Ramone. Yes,
Yes, I was a late, or did he die?
he did.
Uh,
As did that's Joey, as did Johnny.
he, well, one of them was very conservative, right?
Yeah,
Like a
that's
right-wing
Johnny. That
guy.
was the guitar player, and they did not like each other.
Johnny and who?
Ramone. Joey
Wait.
Ramone sang, and Johnny played the guitar, and
Oh,
he was very good, but he was a bit right. We'll just
and Joey was not. Joey
it
was
was
more
not, no. And
right.
they were like they went to fisticuffs. And yeah, they have one the drummer still is with us, Tommy. And they had many they had many Ramones, but they were great. And I came at them late too, Andy. But I love
You don't have
everything
to say
they
my
did.
name. I'm aware of who I am. It's
Oh,
unbelievable with
I'm
you.
sorry.
Were you told that? I went to the doctor. Can I do one of my jokes? I went to
Please.
the doctor recently for this joke, and I said to him, I'm very concerned. I'm here. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
I don't have early dementia. And he said, "You're right on time. You should have gotten. This is exactly when it should have happened. You could have come here 4 years earlier, and it wouldn't have been too early. I don't think I delivered the joke good, but you know what's happening."
Yes, you delivered it perfectly. Perfectly. So yeah, enough about your intro. I just say to everybody who doesn't know of you, Andy, I mean Andrew, I'll refer to you that way because you don't want
Why
me
are you going to say
saying Andy.
Andrew?
Just because you didn't want me
Okay.
saying Andy. Um,
Oh yeah, Andrew D. I had to change. Here's what happened. I did
what?
not realize that there was a famous Andy Kindler in the 50s. Now I've got SAG on my ass.
Really?
I have after on my ass, and I have to change my name to Andrew D. Like it's like William H. Macy.
Yeah,
It's like William H. Macy. There was a Bill Macy, so now I have to be Andrew something like that.
for real.
No, it's a bit.
I was I was going to say to get your checks and your insurance. That's important. That's important. Um, so I encourage anybody who's listening to this or watching it, God forbid, that you Google Andy, yeah, your Letterman appearances, the state of the industry speeches, and
Oh
check
my
out
God.
your podcast, Thought
Thought
Spiral,
Spiral with the
with
great Josh
yeah,
Elvis Weinstein. Now, do you listen to that? No.
I do.
You do?
I
You've
do.
asked us questions, right?
In the past, I have thrown a couple at you. Yeah, yeah.
Well, did you see when I was going through Dark Nights of the Soul when the people were turning on me? And I was like, no more
No.
letters. Oh, okay. Then it didn't happen. Everything's great.
Oh, good, good. Who
I'm
was
very
turning on
popular.
you?
Oh, it's just a whole long thing where there's like people would write in, like we do questions in the show. So someone wrote in something like, you know, you talk you talk too much. Why don't you listen to the other person? It's like one of those things. Why don't you listen to
Oh,
him and then
oh,
come up with the line? And it's
yeah.
like, I don't cotton to that. I don't know if you can say I don't cotton to that without it's not have a racist connotation. Uh, but I'm still going to say it.
You could
I
say
mean, no. I don't want to have a racist connotation.
you don't. You could say I can't go for that, and the kids would get it.
Right.
Yep.
And I can't go for that. Whoa, 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 whoa. No can do.
Right.
Sorry. 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 That song sticks in my craw
Can you
like
say
not
that?
just
Can you say
huh?
craw?
not if we were in France right now, I would probably be punched
Yeah, that's true.
because crawl is like the C word in France.
Really? Do they pronounce it that way in France? Crawl? Like like if you say the C word in Great Britain,
Then
they
it's okay, and then you're considered to be a delicacy,
right, but
like
they've
an
got
upperclassman.
but have you heard them, Andy? They do it like they've got almost got the umlaut over the U, the way that they say it over there.
Yeah,
It almost makes it okay. I don't know.
almost.
I've
It
never
almost does.
I've never understood that, but I appreciate it because I don't know why. Um,
Well, it's just but here, forget it. Don't
yeah,
I told you years ago, drop it on when you're dating women. Drop it
just
already.
drop it.
They don't think it's funny,
They don't think it's funny.
the C
They
word.
really don't. They don't go for it. No can do.
Even
Um,
if you're a man, you go, okay, but she really was one. That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
exactly where you shouldn't be going with it.
Well, right. You could plus if you're a cat lady, that's a whole other thing.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm not doing this facetiously. I'm not saying that I support the C word. I'm just
No.
saying that although I did do it, this is a true story. I don't curse much in my act. I
Yeah.
don't go for that foul language.
No.
But
You
at
don't
my
work blue.
young comedian special, I use the C word
Ooh.
as part of a portrayal of an old washed up comic called
Okay.
Rusty Fleming.
Okay.
And I don't want to ruin it by doing it here, but it's the punchline. Can I do the actual punchline here?
Please. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a washed up comic, and he goes, I asked the club owner for an advance. I asked him, he goes, how much? I go, how much does an 8 ball go for in this town? They can't tell my fucking weight on me. Oh, yeah, so we wanted to do a few I had a bacon and bean burrito. My stomach felt funny. I go to have my stomach, but boom, cancel the week on me. So it ends up with this. I finally got my caution shot. I said to myself, don't say pussy, say vagina. Don't say pussy, say vagina. I get on the show, I say cunt. I'm off network 5 years. You say cunt on cable, you're a big star. I had to whisper in my own house so my wife would not hear me say that.
I don't blame her. Susan. I don't blame her one bit, Andy. Um, so we could go on.
Whatever you want to do. This is
Oh,
have I said it's your
I
show?
got no, no, no. You're fine. I thought about a bit for the show.
Cool.
So,
Are
because
you proposing it now or we're doing it
yes,
live?
I am. I'm proposing about doing it right now,
Okay.
and because I want to be kind, because that's how I am. That's the short.
Kind. Andy Kind. I almost
Andy
changed my name.
Kindler. Yes.
No, I was going to change my name to Andy Kind. Kind of
Oh,
funny. You're kind of funny. That type of thing.
oh, there you go. You could use that with Richard Kind, the actor.
Right.
Yes,
I think I have similarities to him. I've always felt mishpucha with him, that we have a similar point of view.
he was on that John Mulaney show.
Yeah, it was very funny on that show.
Did you like that show, by the way?
I did. I actually did. I actually did like that show. We watched every single night of it.
I
But then
liked. Well, go ahead, Andy. Yeah,
yeah, but then but I didn't like every night the same way. And then I didn't like all the guests. But what'd you think?
I watched the one, and I think it was the first one where they had Seinfeld. Was that the
Yes.
first one?
Yes, and he was very annoying.
Well, I very much like the premise because it was so oddball,
Right.
where they went off track and talk to the scientist about what was it about goats or no, it was about
Yeah.
coyotes or something.
Yeah, they were whatever the thing that they were looking into
I
that
loved
night.
that. I thought it was really funny, and Jerry couldn't play with that,
No, he
and
couldn't.
he had to be Jerry. That was off-putting to me, and I kind of got bored with it. But if you say I should watch the other ones, I will watch it because I'm new to Mulaney. So
Oh, okay. Well, Mulaney's hilarious. But the
okay,
thing is, I'm not, my wife and I, she kind of found out about it. So we kind of
yeah,
did watch it. I'm not sure you should watch 2 weeks of that show, but there could be
that was my
highlights you should
question.
see.
Yeah,
Don't watch
okay,
2 weeks of that show.
I'll take in one more. But
Okay.
but as far as bits for this, so I was thinking, um, we could do a bit, cheesy radio bit that I just came up with. Thank I'm going to throw out a person or a topic,
Okay.
and you can say thank you and take it, or say no thank you. Because if it's boring to you, you just don't want to talk.
Okay.
How's
Good.
that?
You got it.
Okay. All right. First one.
Boy, do you really paint? You really, really know how to paint. Do you know how to set up something?
Oh
I'm
shit.
jealous.
Oh, sorry. I almost said the C word. Um, all right. First one. Thank you or no thank you. Letterman's beard.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because you know what? But it's nice because I don't want to upset him. I think we all think he looks like a crazy mountain man.
True.
But I said thank you because I don't want him to be. I don't want. I'm not saying what I'm saying is I approve of him wanting to have a beard,
Yes.
but objectively, it's unless he's doing Old Man River,
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Okay. Got it. All right. Next one. Thank you or no thank you. Do you recall this?
Thank you. That is a great article that I wrote for National Lampoon. And I say great article like with a like as if I'm like bragging, but it really
No,
was
I knew what you
really
meant.
was. You know what I meant? And a lot of comics helped me. It's like how to be a hack comic, the hack
Ah,
comic handbook. And it's on my website under
yes.
none of the above. And I
Yes, it
recommend you
is.
have an actual original copy,
I
right?
do. You talked about it, and then I found it, and then I think you had linked to somewhere on eBay or something where you could get it. And I said, I want to have that. I want to read it. I want it in my hands I saw it on your site, but it looks like an Ansel Adams
Print.
drawing of your article. But so you had help with that, or did you write it yourself?
I wrote it basically myself, but I had help with the editors. There was
Okay.
Chris Marcel.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the other editor. They were wonderful. They were really great. They really were able to put it into that. What I wasn't probably not as good at it was putting it into the concept of you can be a hack too. So they
Yes.
they were great with that. And then comics helped me. Comic friends of mine helped me with some specifics of
Yes.
uh, uh, my uh, my comedy friend Joel Madison came up with anything's funnier on with everything's great on an attitude, and then it's even better on steroids. So like steroids are just vitamins with a latitude, stuff like that. And of course, this came out in the early '90s when
Yes.
the movement was imploding on itself. So it
Yes.
really, really hit all of the tropes that were being used because comedy was really bad in the '80s on these not so bad the shows
When
that came
was
out, but
this? Yeah.
late '80s, mid
Late
'80s to
80s.
the late to the '90s, the crowd started to get terrible just because comedy club owners wanted to book they killed. You got to kill, so they would book like the lowest common denominator acts.
I want to tell my people what I'm holding up. So it's a copy of National Lampoon magazine. And if you're our age, you know what that means. It's maybe the greatest comedy magazine ever. And it's the humor issue. And Andy wrote this brilliant piece called The Hack's Handbook, a starter kit. And it talks about it's a brilliantly funny, but also analytic piece on what's really hacky comedy and really could be how not to do it. And really goes through um, a tutorial on what is hack comedy and what is not. And Andy, I was reading this again, and I just felt like, God, you should. It's time for an addendum. You could write a part two on this because I
I
think
think, yeah, we need new. I've been thinking that myself, that there's,
this is
whatever the current,
1991, February of
yes,
1991. So you're ready. You're over ready, but it's so great, so great. Um,
so great,
so
so
great.
great.
We're gonna get to that. So hacky. I've got something. So, and you tell me if this is hack, okay? Because I want to share a joke of my dad's, and you can tell me whether this is hack or just old dad joke. So uh my dad, he was not funny and he wasn't vulgar, so he didn't work blue. Um we grew up Catholic. We had 7 kids in my family, and in his day, Andy, they used the rhythm method. So his joke was, in my day, we only had 2 kinds of birth control: sulfa denial and no acetol.
Okay, Okay, wait, I lost it. I got lost. Okay, say,
Yeah. He says, in my day, they
give me
all
the premise again because your punchline threw me up. What's the premise
got
of
it.
the joke again?
So the premise is, in his day, they used the rhythm method. You could
Oh,
take birth control, right?
okay. And
It
then
wasn't
what's the
it
punchline
wasn't
again?
there. The punchline is they only had two kinds in his day: sulfa denial and no acetol.
Gee, I don't even. I think I know where he's going with it, but did he construct this joke?
That's a great question. No, I think it probably circulated around the parish. But
Oh wait, is it a joke about? I don't even really get it. Is it a
let me
joke
tell
about
you,
rhythm?
I'll take it down. It's self-denial, sulfa
Okay,
denial,
yeah, okay, that's right. Okay. Oh, but he's
okay,
saying
and
it like
no and
sulfur.
no and no acetol, which kind of sounds like geritol, but it's no ass at all. Anyway, a
That's
terrible joke that I have to explain it
terrible.
to you, or maybe just terribly delivered by me. But
No, I don't believe that for 1 minute. You brought a certain panache to it.
thank you, Andy.
If
So,
anybody could have sold that joke, that would be you.
oh my God, yeah. Anyway, that I don't know if that would be hack, blue, or neither, or maybe not a joke. Um,
I think it's more like a not. Well, no, I think it's a wonderful tribute to your dad's
yes,
sense of humor, but it sounds like a street joke that he got from someone.
perhaps. Yeah. Okay. So back to it. Thank you or no thank you. Um, David Tell,
Thank you.
what
I
elaborate?
love him. I love David Tell. Now, here's the thing. I
Yeah.
cannot, if someone, David Tell will say anything that comes to his mind at any point. And some things that he says, I can't argue if someone, if he's talking about a group but so in other words, he can be insulting,
Yes.
but to me, he's totally in control of, that's kind of the joke when he is saying
Yes.
terrible things. So I
Yes.
love him. I really
Can
love him.
can I go way back? Didn't want to do this, but I'm going to do it real quick. Do you remember in the day Pat McCormick?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Do I know the day? I know the name Pat McCormick from the Tonight Show, right?
Yes. So
Yeah.
head writer of the Tonight Show for years and years and years, infamous for streaking on the Tonight Show. That was his one crazy episode. But he was like an Attell of his day. He was a brilliant joke writer and really dirty. And in the old, before they started televising the roasts, he'd do the old roasts,
Wow.
and he would and there's a CD out there, Andy. I'll link you to it. It's very vulgar, it's very dirty, but the jokes are so beautifully well constructed, like Attell's, and mean, and you couldn't get away with saying half of them now, but it was early 70s, right? So it's
Right, right.
very homophobic, very misogynistic, but oh my God, terribly funny because he was authentic. He was like Dave, and the effort was, you could tell, was made into crafting the joke super well. And
Right, right.
that was Pat McCormick. David Tell is the Pat McCormick of this day. Um,
And
okay,
didn't he used to bring him out, didn't he? Did he
he
used to
did.
bring him out?
Yes, he would sit next to him on occasion, but oh, he would. It was great because he would bust Ed's balls right off, and it was fun. It was really fun. Um, okay, moving right along. Seinfeld. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Thank you or no thank you.
No, thank you now, because
Yeah,
he's become a right wing, he's blaming it all started with this is actually true, but it all started with he did this joke about, and then the guy's operating his phone like a gay French king.
a French
Okay.
king.
And yeah. And so it's not like people booed him off the stage, but they
Oh,
didn't laugh that much. I don't like it so much, Jerry. Or so he goes on a whole thing about how he can't do comedy anymore because the crowds, it's political correctness. He starts to adopt the arguments of the right wing
yep,
because to justify the fact that at some point it's not going to be funny to say, "Hey, you're gay," and that's not funny now, even, right? But it's like if you look back at all the things from, if you look at the Tonight Show, I mean, I'm talking about the Tonight Show, but there was so much homophobia
sure.
in the whole society that of
Yes.
course they wouldn't hold up today,
No, it
or
wouldn't.
shouldn't hold up today.
And he protested so much on that, and because, and you said it, he so brilliant, so 1,000 great jokes that he crafted and told, and that one not great. And he just should have let it go. Should have just let that
He's
thing
so
die.
thin-skinned. He's so
Yes.
thin-skinned. He's also, if I encourage anybody, if you want to see the level of insanity of Jerry Seinfeld, that there's something insane about him. Read any interview with him, and he's
Yeah.
done many over the years. Like he used to say, it's always the comic's fault if the joke doesn't work. Always. A good comic can make every crowd laugh. And now all of a sudden, cut to, I can't perform for these people. I can't go to colleges.
So crazy.
Yeah,
That
he's
that's
something's wrong with him.
that's like in business where they used to say the customer is always right.
Right.
It's not. Nothing could be more false than that. But yeah, I appreciate him. But I'd written in my notes, aging comics who go preachy, and
Hey,
he's
I heard that. I can hear
one
what
of them.
you're saying. Jesus Christ, I can hear what you're saying. And it's not about me. Okay.
Yeah, Andy, stop preaching to the converted. Um,
I have
gosh,
a joke about that. I
go for it.
say, whenever I preach, people they say that, you're just preaching to the converted. But I kill when I do. I kill when I
Well,
preach to the converted.
yeah.
You see why I dropped that joke.
All right. Thanks or no thanks. Todd Glass.
Thank you. Thanks. The greatest. The greatest, except I would say that I'm the greatest living standing comic. I'm the greatest standing living comic I've ever known. No, Todd Glass is up on the list of people who are thoroughly hilarious.
Yes. And
I love him.
I would tell anybody and everybody to dig through the Todd Glass podcast, the Todd Glass show, it's called, and find the Andy Kindler episodes.
Oh, we had the greatest times together
Oh
on that show.
my God.
Now he stopped the show, right?
I
I
don't
think
know if
he
he
stopped.
did.
I think he did. I think he did.
Okay. They're still out there to be listened to on the
Yes.
iTunes. But Andy, because Todd used to have correct me if I'm wrong, he used to have somebody play piano or play drums
Well, he had a whole band set
in
up
a whole
there in
band.
his studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you guys would get singing, and that's when you did a whole riff on
Shut up, be your face.
"Shut Up Your Face." Yes.
Look, what's
What's the
the
matter,
problem
you?
with you?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't need to hear from you. You've been talking very much lately. Hey, stop producing sound out of your head. Stuff
Right?
like
Yes. So great. Okay. So thanks or no thanks, Todd Berry.
oh, of course, thanks. Thanks. I mean, not
Thanks.
that he'll give it back to you.
No.
No, he'll say, you're funny, Todd. You go, I know I am. Mm,
You know who
welcome to.
he likes to poke is Colin Quinn.
Oh, he does? Does he get Colin Quinn going?
It's fun, yes. Because Colin, like you, Andy, has a strong Twitter game. And Colin, in his unique Colin Quinn way,
Oh, he's like a
very
fake
funny.
character almost, right?
Correct. Yes, he has a persona,
Yeah.
and
But I
it's
don't
very
have a
fun.
persona though like that.
No,
I'm
you don't.
mostly me.
No, you're Andy. Yeah, which much appreciated.
Does
Um,
he ever break? Does he break from that, Colin?
I think seriously when he does interviews, he does.
Oh
But
no, but he injured, but not on Twitter. But he's kept it on Twitter the whole time,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's a gag. Um, okay. Thanks or no thanks, Todd Rundgren. So
I
Andy, that's a special. It's a 2 for Tuesday segment. We call 3 for Tuesday. So I threw three Todds at you.
oh, that's pretty great.
Yes,
I
Todd
do like
Rundgren.
Todd Rundgren, and I say thank you, but I'm not as familiar with him as a huge fan would be.
Yes.
But I do like him.
Okay. Moving on. Gilbert.
Godfrey,
Yep.
very funny. He could be mean. He could be unnecessarily mean sometimes,
Yeah.
and I've seen him be that way, but hilarious,
Were you
just
on his
hilarious.
show?
Yeah, I did go on a show with my friend with Josh Elvis Weinstein. We went on the show, and he was great.
That's
He's
right.
just a brilliant guy.
I love that show. I love the concept of that show. And I thought Frank Santopadre was a great co-host for him. Uh,
Yes,
yep. I miss him. That was a sad day when Gilbert went. He
yeah,
got a lot more to give.
because you thought he was someone who could die any moment, but then you wouldn't. But then you didn't think. You thought he'd live forever. He
Yeah, he
always
did.
looked like he was on the verge of being tired.
Yes. I mean, he looked that way if you saw pictures of him, Andy, but if he was very alive on his show.
Oh, he was great.
I
Yeah,
thought it
yeah.
was shocking to people because he wasn't that old, but few people knew that he had that he had some ailments. I don't know exactly the disease he
Oh,
died
I
from.
don't know what they were.
I
Oh,
don't know
yeah,
either.
yeah.
No. Okay.
But see, everybody seems young now. But so like, I'm 67. So you tell me anybody, if you tell me 85 years old, I go, oh, I was such a young person. Wow, how could it happen?
I agree without telling you how old I am.
But you don't need to. I've already established it.
Okay, very good.
It's my hook.
Good. All right. Thanks or no thanks. Stephen Colbert.
Used to be thanks. I don't like him. I don't enjoy him anymore. I have nothing against. I mean, I don't.
Oh,
I
do
used
tell.
to love the Colbert Report.
Yes. His
Um,
character.
yes, and his own personality is colder than that.
Hmm.
That's how I see it. But I'm not putting it down because I know it's funny. I just don't watch it. I don't
Hmm.
watch any of any. I watch very. I'm actually watching some of Kimmel sometimes, but I don't watch anything religiously.
Kimmel was next on my list for you. Thanks or no thanks.
I used to not enjoy him when he was with Adam
Yes.
Carolla.
The
Now
Man
I
Show.
thank you. I love when he talks about politics and so I'm a yes on him. Thank you on him.
All right. Very good. Thanks or no thanks. Fallon. So great.
No thanks. And the thing is like so great.
So great.
So great. I was working on this bit where what he's saying, what it means. So when Fallon says it's so great, it means I'm dead inside and I'm just going to continue saying things over and over. So I had I love that guy means this. So yeah, I actually uh he once called my manager up and asked, "Well, does Andy have a problem with me?" And then he gave my manager his number, and I almost fell for
Oh,
it. I almost fell for it because if I had called him up, I would, oh, Jimmy, it's just a joke, and then I would maybe not have been slamming him anymore. So I think
oh,
he was being very political about it.
he wanted to warm you up, did he?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Interesting. So great. Wouldn't it be fun
So great.
if you gave him sodium pentothal and then he might say fake praise. Anyway, um,
Laughing to cover up something. I'm laughing maniacally because I don't feel good inside. Something like
maniacal.
that.
Yes, maniacal laughing, hysterical laughing. Um, thank you or no thank you, Seth Meyers.
I like Seth Meyers. So I say thank you to him. And I guess now I'm prejudiced because I met him and he was very sweet to me. And I would say I watch him more than most, but I don't watch anybody all the time, but I
Mhm.
like him.
Yeah. I feel like he is and he's probably got a handful of writers at least, but I feel like he's a quality writer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And he also was interested in things. So I like him when
Yeah,
he interviews people.
I agree. Yeah, and he seems authentic. Um, seems authentic. Yeah,
That's terrible what you
that
just
is
said.
terrible. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
I retract that. Okay, thanks or no thanks. We're going into some people who have left our mortal coil. Kevin Meaney.
Loved Kim. I mean, just loved him. I knew him from way back.
Did you?
Yeah, I knew him from way
Oh,
back. And um from when I first started comedy. I mean, I wasn't in Boston when he was in Boston, but then there was that uh documentary which was called when comics
comedian.
was king.
Yeah.
No, not comedian. It was
Oh,
called When Comedy Was King or something. That has
okay.
a lot of Kevin Meaney going out. Fran Salamea did this documentary. It
Okay.
has a lot of like Kevin going out in the street and talking to people. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I love him.
Love him.
And love him also because he really I share his same outrage at the crowd sometimes,
Yes.
you know.
Oh man, Andy, we don't have enough time to talk about him. He might be on my cheesy Mount Rushmore, but love
Oh,
him.
the big pants people and the whole thing, and the
No,
way he's like, look,
not so much that. I mean, that was
no, no,
great.
no, no, but I mean, no, that was like, look at him. No, no, I
Yeah,
do think, look at him, look at him,
just look
look
at
at
him.
him. Now that's cutting to the heart of how great he is.
When he did look at him, he was doing a crazy version of his mom. and then he created another character, his Aunt Rose, who was this crazy other, I think, Irish lunatic lady. I don't know. I just loved him, and I loved how he transformed, and came out eventually. And
Yes.
he just I loved him. Got to meet him, and it was a real privilege for
Oh,
me.
that's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. He came through Detroit, and it was great. Um, okay, thanks or no thanks. Belzer.
Loved Belzer. In fact, I got very friendly with Belzer.
Okay.
No, just like I'm name dropping now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I got friendly with him over like Twitter, and he couldn't have been sweeter. He said I could visit him in the south of France, and it's like I don't think I liked Belzer as much when I was younger because he was so mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then it's like the more you see it, because I would say the thing that's hilarious about him is not necessarily each joke that he writes,
Right.
but like he wrote a book once about the different types of Jewish com comedians and one or different types of comedians, and one was the Jewish, the dirty Jewish comedian or something like that. Like even my dick is in therapy, that kind of thing.
Oh, oh man, I loved the bells. We're running out of time, Andy. I want to
I
venture
know.
a couple more and then let you go.
Okay.
I want to go into music, and I know that you're an incredible fan of the Dead, right?
You
And
know it.
yes, and of Bob Dylan. But real quick, thanks or no thanks, Jerry
What
Garcia.
the heck? Oh,
Yeah,
come on. What are you trying to, what are you
it's a,
lobbing me softballs? I
it is a
love him.
softball,
He's
but
like my
why?
favorite. Okay, because he's my favorite guitar player of all time.
Okay.
And I was on acid listening to him as you'd be in an outdoor concert. But I love the way he sang too. He's a
Yes.
wonderful singer. And I love the way Robert Hunter wrote lyrics. So uh you really can't say that you really with the Dead, everybody made the band, but Jerry was my hero in the band.
Yes. So continuing that, thanks or no thanks, Bob Weir.
Great. Love to say I
Okay.
love everybody in the band. Bob, I play a lot of rhythm guitar, so I learned was influenced by him of
Yeah.
not playing too much.
Okay. Thanks or no thanks, Dead and Company.
I don't know anything. I haven't followed it. Is it good?
You know way more about the Dead. I would call myself a casual fan of theirs. The songs that I like, I love. And so I like seeing Bob Weir out there, and I miss Jerry. And I think they're a really um formidable live act to see, but I don't know enough about their catalog. So
Who's the keyboard player?
I don't know.
Oh,
I know it's John Mayer playing leads and Bob,
oh,
and I think Kreutzmann is playing drums with him, I think. And
Kreutzmann's son or Kreutzmann?
I think it's Kreutzmann, I think. And
Okay.
the rest
Because
of the band,
Kreutzmann's son is a very good drummer, I think, too.
yeah, they I should know this. They have a bass player who's been playing for years and years and years with them, with Bob, I
Mhm.
think, whose name escapes me. Yeah, I was just curious your take, but it sounds like you haven't seen him.
I haven't seen it, but I did love The Dead. The recent thing was on Netflix or something. What a long, strange trip it's been. That was
Yep.
great.
Okay.
And the
Um,
Grateful Dead movie, I recommend to anybody.
okay. Finishing up here, CSN and Y. Um, and do you have a favorite?
I love that. I mean, I grew up, I don't know if I've mentioned to you that I'm 67. Have
Yeah,
I?
no, so this is
Oh,
new.
67.
Okay.
So I grew up listening to their music was, oh my God. And
Me too.
you, you know, again, this is me name drop. I don't
Yeah,
like to name drop, but I want
please.
to.
While you're
I
here.
got to work with David Crosby on the Ellen Show. This is one of the
Oh,
highlights of my life. They were casting. Ellen goes to musical camp or something like that, rock and roll camp.
yes.
So they cast me as a Orthodox Jew who played guitar. So I was jamming with David Crosby, Bonnie Raitt,
Wow.
Aaron Neville. So it was really so. But I know that David had issues because I even saw some things on Twitter that he did. Like someone sent him a interesting painting of himself or something, and he goes, "Don't quit your day job." It was like he didn't know he didn't have a lot of stuff. He didn't have social, and he admits himself because the documentary admits that no one will talk to him again.
Yeah.
But I think I also love all of them, though. I mean, I love Graham Nash, and I love Stephen Stills, and I love Neil Young. I love Neil Young separately too.
Yes. That Neil Young just came through and I saw him with Crazy Horse. and
Right.
and that may be the last time we get to see the horse. The rhythm section are 79 and 80.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but they were formidable. Formidable. It was great. I was so glad I went because I thought this may be the last time we get to see that band out there. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I also love I never saw him live, was Tom Petty.
I was just going to ask you about him.
Oh, just loved him. Loved him, loved him. And I love the Wildflowers. That album is so great.
Oh, that you probably saw that. What's that documentary called? I have it on DVD, but the
Yeah.
long documentary on him and the band, really
Yes, that
great.
was outstanding. I don't know why I decided to send you my address now. I thought I could what's it
Multi
called?
multitask.
Yeah, so I
Yes.
sent it to you.
Oh,
I
thank
think
you.
that's right.
Yes. Okay. Um, so Andy,
My last name's Kindler.
yes, Andy K. Let let's finish. I've got so much more that I want to ask you, but
Well, you'll bring me back on again.
will you come back on?
Yes, I will, but you know how I'm not, there's something annoying about how it's not annoying, I'm getting better at it, but for years, I would be like, I didn't remember people call me, or I'd be avoiding the phone. So, absolutely will come back, but don't get, sad if what am I
No, no,
saying?
that's fine.
It's ridiculous.
Far be it for me to paint you with faint praise, but you're pretty good,
Oh,
and that's faint. Um, so Andy, stick around. I'm gonna end this show, but
okay,
I
cool.
want to do my disclaimers and thank yous, and
You got it. I'll stay
I
here.
just got a couple, and it
Okay.
now this will be woebegone for you. Um, so disclaimers and thank yous, and I thank you show is indeed brought to you.
What's it? Oh, it's called, and I thank you.
Yeah, and I thank you is this
Oh,
show
you
that
didn't
you're
tell
on,
me the
Andy.
name of the show. I don't like that
Yeah,
name.
and
I don't want you to use any of this footage.
all right. Well, we'll edit it in post.
No, I like it. What am I, a mean guy? What am I, Rickles all of a sudden? Go
I
ahead.
want you to riff on all of these. Here's the next one. And I thank you show should not be used as a substitute for traditional ear bleach.
True. That's
Okay,
true.
thank you. If
Trump
you
would
like,
agree.
yeah, if you like listening to And I Thank You show, we suggest these other podcasts. All
I
right.
like that one. I
Yeah,
like that joke.
okay, moving
I
right
like
along.
that joke.
Thank you,
That's a
Andy.
joke that you it does you have you get it takes a second.
I sold that one with silence. Um, Next one, and I thank you show is registered with the U.S. Bureau of Low Standards.
I like that.
Thank you. Our low production value is both a source of pride and craftsmanship. Thank you, Andy. Next, any gastric unease should be reported to your doctor
That's
and or
true.
the authorities. Next, and I thank you show can be used in place of American Top 40. And lastly, Andy, guests appear courtesy of themselves and are apologized to after the taping of the show.
Oh.
I will both thank you and apologize, Andy, after we get off this.
Wait, no, so you're going to apologize for the appearance?
Yes, I'm going to apologize to you for the quality of this show.
Oh, okay. I'm looking forward to that.
And when I say the quality, that means me, not you.
No, no, no. I know exactly what you mean, and
Okay.
I've been my back is hurting from carrying you.
Okay, thank you. Those feet in the sand are from you carrying me
That's true.
on the beach. Um, so real quick, and I Thank You show is a production of Arthur Street Weirdos, written by yours truly. Theme music is by royalty free. If you're consuming this fine product, thank you, Andy. If you're consuming this fine product via Apple Podcasts, please rate and review. 5 stars is nice, even if inaccurate. If you're watching on the YouTubes, please subscribe and don't be stingy. Give us a thumbs up. All of this will help people find us so they can waste their valuable time. One last thing, brand creative by my friend Brad Lutz. Thank you, Brad. And thanks for listening and watching. And comments and correspondence can be shared at andithankyou@gmail.com. Andy, you are indeed a mensch. Thank you
This
for
was very much fun,
joining
Jim.
me on the
I
show.
didn't know it was going to be fun. I didn't know if it was not going to be fun. It was fun. I
Which
had
is-
fun. You're very funny. I'm very impressed with the show. I loved it.
Thank you, Andy.